What if I told you? When someone ghosts you, it usually has nothing to do with you. No fight, no warning, no explanation, just silence. And that's silence. It's not random, it's psychological. Part 1, the disappearance effect. You send a message, it delivers, it's read. And then, nothing. Your brain hates unfinished stories. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect. We obsess over what doesn't get closure. That's why ghosting hurts more than rejection. If someone said, "I'm not interested," your brain could file it away. But silence keeps the story alive. And your mind starts writing its own horror script. Did I say something wrong? Were they lying the whole time? Did I imagine the connection? Here's the twist. The person who ghosts often feels relief, not guilt. Part 2. Conflict avoidance is power. Most people don't ghost because they're evil. They ghost because they're uncomfortable. Confrontation triggers anxiety. Explaining feelings requires vulnerability. Ending things directly creates emotional tension. So instead of communicating, they disappear. It's emotional self-preservation, but here's the darker layer. Silence gives them power. When someone walks away without explanation, they control the narrative. You're left wondering. They're not. And power dynamics matter more than we admit. The illusion of infinite options. Modern dating changed everything. Apps, DMs, endless scrolling. The brain now treats people like options on a menu. Psychologists call this the paradox of choice. When we believe there are unlimited alternatives, we value each option less. If someone thinks there might be someone better one swipe away, they won't invest deeply. And when investment is low, disappearing feels easy. Ghosting becomes efficient. No drama, no explanation. Just move to the next profile. It's not personal, it's abundance psychology. Emotional immaturity. Here's something uncomfortable. Ghosting often signals emotional immaturity. Healthy adults can say, "This isn't working. I don't feel the connection. I want something different." But emotionally avoidant people, they delay difficult conversations until delay becomes disappearance. And here's the paradox. The more charming someone is in the beginning, the more likely they might be conflict avoidant. Fast connection, fast intensity, fast exit. Intensity isn't intimacy, sometimes it's just adrenaline. There's a deeper psychological layer. Attachment theory. Some people have what's called an avoidant attachment style. They crave connection, but once things feel real, they pull away. Closeness feels dangerous. Vulnerability feels like loss of control. So instead of risking emotional exposure, they detach, silently. If you've ever been ghosted right when things were getting serious, that wasn't coincidence. It might have been fear. Here's another uncomfortable truth. Sometimes ghosting isn't fear, it's validation. Attention feels good. Being desired feels powerful. Some people pursue connection just long enough to confirm, "I still have options." Once their ego is satisfied, they disengage, not because you lacked value, but because they were never looking for depth. They were looking for proof, and once they got it, they vanished. Ghosting activates the same neural pathways as physical pain. Studies show social rejection lights up the anterior cingulate cortex, the brain's pain center. That's why it feels like withdrawal, because it is. You bonded. Your brain released dopamine, oxytocin, hope. Then suddenly, nothing. No closure means no emotional resolution. So your brain keeps replaying memories, trying to solve a puzzle that has no answer. But here's the psychological shift. Closure is self-generated, not given. If someone ghosts you, ask one question. Do I really want someone who disappears when things get uncomfortable? Silence is information. It tells you how they handle conflict, how they manage emotions, how they treat uncertainty. Ghosting doesn't mean you weren't enough. It means they weren't equipped. And here's the part most people miss. People who ghost often repeat the pattern with everyone. including the next person. The strongest response to ghosting isn't anger. It's indifference. No double texts. No dramatic paragraphs. No emotional chasing. When you withdraw attention, the power dynamic resets. Sometimes they come back. Not because they changed, but because silence from you feels unfamiliar, and humans are addicted to unfinished stories. Remember that Zeigarnik effect? It works both ways. So here's the question. Is ghosting cruelty? Or is it just emotional weakness disguised as confidence? And if someone who ghosted you suddenly texted again, would you respond? Comment one word, ignore, or reply. Let's see how many people choose power. Welcome to Neuroverse.